Well, finally some good news for all of you, because after weeks and weeks of stagnation, a very long, arduous stalemate, we finally have some progress. We have a brand new proposal for the first time in what feels like an eternity. That's right, for the first time in a long time, we finally have a brand new proposal that will break the deadlock that is holding up your stimulus check. But wait, there's more. I'll do you one better. This is actually a bipartisan support. That's right, you heard it correctly. There is vocal support from both sides of the aisle, both sides of the spectrum. And once again, I have to point out, I have to emphasize, because it's all because of you guys that I could do these videos for you every single solitary day, daily uploads. If you respect that, hit that like button for me. If you like those daily uploads, hit that like button, smash it for me. It will just help with that YouTube algorithm, so it does support me when you do it. And it's totally free. It's free of cost. It doesn't cost you a penny to do that. And as always, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that big red button, hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified every single time I make a new video. And if you actually want a personal notification every time I do upload a new video, also hit that little notification bell as well. I do videos every single week covering business, finance, investing, entrepreneurship, mindset strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. I also do the stimulus package and stimulus updates. So if you're interested in any of those topics, do subscribe and hit that notification bell. And by the way, for the big 3K, I'm actually doing a little gesture for the fans. I mentioned it in the first couple of videos, but I am doing something just for you guys. It's the best I can do right now, but we will have merchandise down the line. I'm sure we'll have other things to come once we hit larger landmarks. But right now, what I'm doing for the big 3K is, if you just send me a screenshot of this video, or any other video for that matter, it could be the one where I mentioned 3,000 subscribers and I made that announcement, but it could be this video too. If you just send me a screenshot, just a screenshot from your phone of you having this video liked, and you also have it showing that you're subscribed to this channel, if you just screenshot that and then send it to me on Instagram through DM. My Instagram is @LoganCone, right here, @LoganCone, and you follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be personally following every single person back that does that. So if you want to be followed back and get that nice little follow back from your favorite YouTuber, then go ahead and do that for me. Just send a screenshot of this video liked and that you're subscribed to my channel. Screenshot that, send it to my DM, and follow me as well, and I'll follow you right back. I'll just check my message requests, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and I'll send you a little thank you note as well through the DM. So just do that, DM me, and I'll follow you back. This bill is brought to you by the Problem Solvers Caucus, which is a bipartisan group of 50 moderate House members from both parties, and they offered their own proposals Tuesday in an effort to restart negotiations on new stimulus legislation. So we're going to get into all of the details of this brand new proposal, and I'll even go more in depth into it in a separate video where I'll actually look at the identical framework that was put out by this Problem Solvers Caucus. But we'll take a look at what we know so far and what's included in this proposal, and it's actually very generous. So you're going to be getting a lot, and then more than you might actually expect. But again, this does have to pass the House and the Senate and the President, as always. It might be fixed, it might be tinkered. This may not be the final proposal. It is still just a draft. However, this is a great start in jump-starting these negotiations again after weeks of gridlock. New Jersey Representative Josh Gottemeyer from the 5th District, he's a Democrat. He said, quote, "With so many people suffering, it's time for pragmatic solutions, and that's what this bipartisan roadmap is all about." He actually co-chairs the Problem Solvers Caucus, and he went on to say, quote, "We hope it will help the negotiators recognize that there is hope for real bipartisan progress." Gottemeyer added, quote, "We can't afford to do nothing until the next inauguration." I'm sure he hopes it's Biden and not Trump. So, quote, "We figured out a way, and it's just a framework, to hopefully get the negotiators back to the table." We also had House Democratic chairs, including Energy and Commerce Committee head Frank Pallone Jr. from the 6th District. He's also a Democrat. He quickly rejected the proposal, saying it, quote, "falls short of what is needed to save lives and boost the economy." He added, quote, "When it comes to bolstering the public health system, supporting state and local governments, and assisting struggling families, the Problem Solvers proposal leaves too many needs unmet." So it's absolutely a very substantial step forward in the right direction. However, you will still have the radicals, the more extreme sides of both parties against it, and it will face opposition. The Republicans will say it's too much, and they've already rejected a lot of the ideas inside of this. In fact, one of the ideas focuses on unemployment, and Republicans would not be able to go as high as they're asking for in this proposal. So right off the bat, that will have to be negotiated. And then Democrats don't feel that this is still enough. They were going for that HEROES Act, which was $3.4 trillion. This is nowhere near that, I'm sure. We don't know the final price tag just yet. We still only have that framework, but it's nowhere going to be near the HEROES Act. And so Democrats want more, Republicans are just going to want less. But this is a step in the right direction, so we'll have to take what we have so far. So this bill does have a great deal of bipartisan support, and it's not because that this specific bill will get passed, but rather because it's very symbolic, because it would actually put pressure on both parties. This bill is essentially designed to mount the burden on these legislators' shoulders even more so, and continue to put even more pressure. Thus, legislators and negotiators will be forced to go home and tell their constituents that they couldn't do anything to help them during a pandemic, but rather hurt them even more. Like Representative Tom Malinowski from the 7th District said, quote, "It's helpful to show that there are Democrats and a significant number of Republicans in the House willing to meet in the middle." So this plan is a long shot. It is not guaranteed by any means. However, it could contribute to those talks and negotiations and re-spark them that we've so long desired. So what is included in this new proposal? So right off the bat, we'll get into the goodies. The proposal will include another round of $1,200 direct payments to individuals, a brand new stimulus check, plus $500 per child and dependent adult, a provision that Democrats, some Republicans, and the White House all support. It's very reminiscent of the HEALS Act. It's essentially the same exact framework where you have $1,200 to individuals, another $1,200 stimulus check, as well as $500 for dependents, and the definition of dependents is expanded and much more inclusive. The bill would also re-up the PPP or Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses with another $95 billion and reappropriate the remaining $145 billion from the first round of the program. You're also going to see a revival of federal supplemental unemployment benefits at a level of $450 per week for 8 weeks. Then it will replace the lost wages up to $600 per week with a cap to make sure the benefits don't exceed lost income for 5 weeks after that. So under the LWA program right now, that was Trump's executive order that he signed, the Lost Wages Assistance Program. We've covered that several times in this channel. If you haven't seen those videos yet, the links will be down below in the description. But in short, very briefly, some states are getting $300 for individuals, and then some states are offering $400 for individuals. I went over every single state and what we know so far in a past video. All the links will be down below. So instead of $300 and not $400, now this proposal would offer $450 a week for 8 weeks, and then after that, when it will cut out, basically what it's saying, and we don't have the final bill yet, so this could be revised, is that someone could not make more than $600 between their state benefits and also the federal level as well. So someone will collect, an individual, no more than $600. That is the cap under this proposal for when after the $450 goes out after 8 weeks. That is essentially what it's saying right now. You'd also see another $500 billion allocated towards state and local governments, something that Democrats are vehemently pushing. This is a major priority for Democrats. They originally asked for $1 trillion in brand new aid on top of the $130 billion remaining from the CARES Act. They also have $100 billion for virus testing and tracing and public health, $25 billion for mortgage and rental assistance, $130 billion for schools, $15 billion for the Postal Service, and $400 million for elections. The plan would also extend the deadline for the 2020 census, and it would include expanded protections for workers, along with liability protections for businesses and schools. So based on this framework that we have in our hands so far, you could envision how this would bring about a lot of bipartisan support from both sides. It really does touch on a lot of key factors that both parties are pushing for. You have the $1,200 in stimulus checks, which both parties do support. That is something they do agree on. And unemployment, Republicans, they were saying that they do as high as $400. Some Republicans, of course, don't want to extend it at all. However, Republicans have come to the consensus that they would do as high as $400, and that is why the LWA program that Trump signed, that executive order, did go into effect quite easily. Democrats were vociferously pushing for $600. They wanted to extend the FPUC, Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program, and that cut off on July 31st. So they wanted 600. This is 450. It's not necessarily in the middle. However, it is a step forward. Now, as far as a price tag, we'd be looking at an estimated 1.5 trillion. That's based on a Politico report. We don't have the final bill just yet, so that could change, but it will be about 1.5 trillion. So it is a compromise that has divided lawmakers for weeks and months on end. However, it could still face opposition in the Republican-led Senate. This is because that price tag does not remain at 1.5 trillion by any means. That could balloon to 2 trillion based on how the economy is doing. If the economy is not under control and the crisis has not improved, it could actually increase because it's based on the economy's performance. The White House has previously signaled support that they'd be willing to support a bill up to 1.3 or even 1.5 trillion. However, the Republican-led GOP Senate is adamant on that $1 trillion price tag. That's what the HEALS Act was, and they couldn't get their skinny package passed either, and so they don't want to go nickel above 1 trillion. And as I mentioned before, the Democrats were willing, ready, and able to do a $3.4 trillion HEROES Act, and so this would be much, much less than they originally called for. And the GOP tried to pass that skinny package last week, but it failed in the Senate. So I can be certain that we'll have more developments. This is the draft that we have so far. Again, it is not a final bill, and even if it was a final bill, it would still have to pass the House and the Senate and then be signed by the president into law. But this is definitely a tremendous step forward. This is something that we've been waiting for a long time. We wish it would have happened in the first week of August. So it's crazy that we had to wait 2 weeks into September to get this proposal. Absolutely nuts. But we do have it, so it is good news. It does bode well. So if you have value out of this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Smash that like button. Once again, I'll just help with that YouTube algorithm, so I do appreciate it. And if you subscribe to my channel, not only are you supporting me, but you're also furthering and emboldening the community here. You're pushing everything that's so awesome and celebrating entrepreneurship, investing, and mindset, and business. So you're also doing that and bringing it to light and to the surface. So you're doing a lot of great things by subscribing to my channel, and you're really creating this community and growing it even more so. So I do appreciate it when you subscribe and also hit that notification bell. That way notified every single time I make a new video. But I do look forward to seeing you in the next video.